Good morning. Ta-da! So we're gonna prep our, I'm using the 75th anniversary bunt pan from Nordic Ware. It's very beautiful. The cake comes out looking like this. It's so pretty. And so the first thing that we do, I already spent some time off camera prepping the ingredients. So they're all lined up. Well, you can't see them, but they're all lined up right here. And so I've prepped our baking pan. Now we're going to take our 500 grams of sugar. It's supposed to be granulated sugar, but I ran out. Thankfully, I still had baking sugar, which is just a finer granulated sugar. And now we have, and this is 500 grams of sugar. Now we have 226 grams of unsalted butter, which is basically 2 sticks of butter. And we're going to put that into our sugar, and we're going to cream our ingredients together. So we're going to take our butter. It's already been cubed. It's easier to do that when it's cold. And the butter, the milk, and the eggs have been sitting out long enough to come to room temperature. So now we're gonna mix these together for 7 minutes. Put the neck down of the mix. Now so the mixer's going to do its work, and okay, so we have our butter and our sugar mixing, and we're going to I am making some vanilla bean pound cake. I have a pop-up that I'm prepping for on Thursday. Once the mixer stops mixing, I can tell you without yelling. But today we're making vanilla bean pound cake in our Bundt anniversary pan. So it's going to look like this when it's done. Oh my God. Thank you. So right now what we're doing is mixing our butter and our sugar. Okay, so once the butter and the sugar is completely mixed, we're going to add our eggs one at a time. They've already been separated and set aside. Hello! So we'll add the eggs one at a time. Then, actually while this is happening, we're going to mix our dry ingredients. So we have cake flour. We have baking powder, and we have salt. So I'm going to mix the salt with the baking powder. And now let's use my muscles. I got muscles. And now we're going to take our dry ingredients, put them into our cake flour. And now we can take this and mix it really quick. I think the fall and winter season is perfect for staying home and bake and cook. I know, right? It's very cozy. Actually, funny that you say that. I was making a content plan yesterday for the next couple of months, and some cozy baking is definitely in the mix. But I want to make things that are cozy but still fitness friendly, because we gotta still, try to be macros friendly. Although this pound cake is not macros friendly at all, but I'm giving most of it away, so we want it to be good. So what's happening is, let me turn this down so I can talk. So what's happening, hi Dallas. So what's happening is I have a podcast. Hi, I'm MeMeCherry. This is the first time that you're seeing me. So I have a podcast, and I had an idea earlier this year, late last year, this concept that I call the Whisper Lounge. Actually, I have merch for it. Let me go get the sticker. Hold on. So I came up with this idea that I call the Whisper Lounge. And at first, it was supposed to be that people would send me their secrets anonymously, and I would react to them. And I got a few submissions, but I didn't get enough to like properly make it a spin-off. So I set it aside, but I still have visuals and branding for it, and people love the logo. If I can ever find it, people love this. I made it into a t-shirt. I'm making pound cake. I'm making vanilla pound cake for a pop-up for this project. So it all makes sense, I promise. So there we go. So what's happening here, let me turn this off so I'm not yelling. So right now I'm making a pound cake because I am gonna be at a holiday pop-up this Thursday, and I'm gonna be beta testing a new version of my Whisper Lounge idea. So I came up with this idea called the Whisper Lounge, where your secrets are safe with Mimi. But only a few people sent me their anonymous submissions, and so I put it aside. And then I came up with a new concept. I was like, well, what if I bring the Whisper Lounge as like a pop-up event? And I set up a camera and I set up a chair, and people can either put a mask on or they can sit backwards, or I can like hide their identity, and I'm gonna trade them a treat for a secret. So right now I'm baking pound cake, and tomorrow I'm gonna make mini muffins, and I also have a bunch of stickers because I make sticker merch for my patrons. I also have a Patreon. Sign up to my Patreon. You get stickers in the mail every month. So I'm bringing the Whisper Lounge as a pop-up event, and so I'm gonna beta test it at this holiday fest. And so basically I'm gonna set up like a little booth. I'm gonna have the camera, I'm gonna have a chair, and yeah, and so I'm gonna just tell people to trade me their secrets for a treat or for a sticker. So today, we're making my vanilla bean pound cake. I love this vanilla bean pound cake, and it actually tastes better after it's been sitting for a day or two. So that's why today's Tuesday, and I'm making it for Thursday. So today we're making vanilla bean pound cake for the first in-person Whisper Lounge pop-up. And then if it's successful, I think I might like take it to the park on the weekends and just like set up a camera and set up a chair and just see if people come and like give me their secrets. And then the idea is that, again, if it works, I live in the Bay Area in California, and there's so many like festivals. And so I figured if there's ever, whatever, there's a festival that I can get in for free, right? I can set myself up a little booth and I can trade people treats for secrets. So that's the idea. Okay, so let's go back to mixing our butter. This needs, let's check the oven. So our oven needs to be at 325. In my oven, this is another tip. Invest. It's not that expensive, but it's worth getting an in-oven thermometer, because most oven panels are not telling you what's actually in the oven. So that's what I'm checking right now. And you want your oven to be sitting at the temperature that you want for a while. Like, you don't want it to like get to temperature and then you put your baked good in. You want it to be sitting at temperature for a bit. So that's why I'm checking now while we're still getting our ingredients together to make sure that our oven is at temperature so that it sits at temperature for a while. So we're back to our butter and our sugar. And so I want to cream this just a little bit more. It's just that I turned it off so that I wouldn't have to yell because it's like still it's like 7:30 in the morning over here in California. And I live in an apartment building and people can hear me. So we're going to scrape. You always want to scrape the sides of your bowl. And so we're scraping the sides of our bowl. And we're going to give this like 3 more minutes. But yeah, what do you think? Isn't this cool? So this is a magnet. Oh, this isn't metal, but this is a magnet. But yeah, let me show you some of the stickers that you get if you sign up to my MeMeCherry Productions Patreon. You get a sticker like this from one of my photo shoots. You get a sticker like this, which is a drawing from that photo shoot. You get stickers of my drawings because I like to paint and draw. This was I took a botanical drawing class, and this was actually my final project, and I liked it so much I turned it into merch. You can get the logo for my podcast, which is so cute. You can get all kinds of stuff. So yeah, patreon.com/MeMeCherry Productions. MeMeCherry. I'm also, so many things happening in the MeMeCherry multiverse. I actually have a podcast episode I need to edit. I need to do that today. I've been slacking. I haven't been slacking. I've just been doing a lot of things. But today I'm going to sit down and finish editing the latest podcast episode with my personal trainer. It was really cute and really fun. And I am now in the process of, I'm in the beginning stages of writing my first 2 short horror movies. And so 2026, MeMeCherry Productions, we're expanding beyond podcasting. We're expanding beyond going live on YouTube to bake. And I'm actually going to shoot my first, I have 2 ideas and I'm going to shoot them both. I have 2 short film, horror film ideas. So I'm so excited. I've already been talking to friends of mine about casting them. I have other friends of mine that are independent filmmakers that I'm hoping to bring on board to the project. So I'm really, really excited about that. And to keep the podcast going. I'm working on a new evolution of the podcast because the podcast is always evolving. So I'm hoping to also 2026 refresh the podcast a little bit, make it more topical, make it more hot topic. I love interviewing people, but I want it to be more consistent. And I think that if I pivot into more like, you know, hot topic type content and film more episodes by myself, since I'm getting more comfortable talking to the camera by myself by going live, I think that'll also be the new evolution of Series of Fortunate Events, which is the name of my podcast, or Sophie Pod. But yeah, that's that. Let me show you more stickers. More stickers. You can, oh, see, this is the podcast. Sophie. Series of Fortunate Events. Okay. Our timer went off. That means, see, look at how fluffy the sugar and the butter got. So we're going to scrape it off the paddle. We're going to scrape it off the paddle. Okay, great. I love scraping as much as I can. It's just the neurospicy in me. It's like, I want it to be as clean as possible. Okay, now we're gonna scrape our bowl again. So we're gonna scrape the sides of our bowl down. All right. Scrape the sides of our bowl down. Cute. This feels nice and fluffy. It almost has like almost like a whipped cream consistency, but you still have that graininess of the sugar under it. Okay, now ADHD, we always gotta triple check our recipe. Okay, we've creamed our butter and sugar. Now we're gonna add our eggs one at a time. And we have 6 eggs that have already been separated and have been sitting out to be room temperature. Now, if your recipe calls for room temperature ingredients, pay attention. It really makes a difference. So my ingredients have been sitting out to come to room temperature off camera. So we're going to now, one at a time, add our eggs, and we'll mix it, scrape, add an egg. Mix it, scrape, add an egg. So we're gonna do that now for 6 eggs. So we have our first eggie. Eggie number 1. Gonna get it off our paddle, back into our bowl. Great. Okay, we're gonna scrape our bowl. Because the egg needs help getting fully incorporated. Back in, scrape our spatula. Get all that product back in there. Okay, we take another eggie, and it goes. And I'm also cleaning out the, not cleaning out, I'm emptying out the dishwasher so that I can start putting these dirty dishes into the dishwasher. But down the neck goes on 3 speed. Okay. Multitasking. We scrape again. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Scrape again. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Great. Great. Okay. Our roll comes out again. We scrape again. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Mix, mix, mix. Oh. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Egg number 3 into our bowl. Get all that eggy goodness in there. Down comes our neck. 3 speed. Okay. Now our batter, as you can see, is starting to get a little more loose and wet and gooey and eggy. Very eggy. Very eggy. But I love this recipe. It's relatively forgiving for a cake. It's relatively easy for a cake. People love it. Everybody loves this cake. So we scrape the sides of our bowl down and give it a good mix. And you want to scrape the bottom of your bowl too. And back in it goes. We scrape our spatula again. Get all that back into the bowl. Okay. We have our fourth egg. Eggy. And it goes. Okay. And that goes down 3-speed. Okay. Take our paddle. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Scrape, scrape, scrape. And a good mix. Scrape the bottom. Back in. Scrape our paddle, our spatula, I mean. Okay. Now we have egg number 5. Eggy. Okay. 3-speed. Okay. At this point, we're pretty incorporated, so I'm going to leave it in here and just scrape the sides down. But now it's mixing pretty well on its own. Scrape, scrape, scrape. But now we have a very, very wet batter. And now we have our 6th and final egg. I'm making vanilla bean pound cake. Sara Lee style vanilla bean pound cake. It's so yummy. I'm prepping for a pop-up that I'm going to be doing on Thursday. And so this is a very prep friendly cake if you want to make a cake in advance. Like if you have an event in a couple of days and you don't want to have to worry about making a cake that day. It actually gets better. Like it's a cake that gets better as the days go on, and it's best on day 2. That's like the best it tastes. So we now have our sugar, butter, and eggs. Our cake holy trinity besides the flour. And now we're gonna scrape our paddle mixer, get all this yummy goodness into the bowl, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, we are done with the paddle attachment. I think now we're gonna wanna work with our hands. So we have now, okay, so we have already prepped our dry ingredients. And we also have our milk and our vanilla, which we need to mix together. So we're going to do that right now really quick. But let me do a bit of, it's good to clean a little bit while you can, if you can. So that's what I'm trying to do really quick. Okay, so now we're going to, let me organize myself. Okay, we're going to push our mixer out of the way a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now we have our wet batter. We have our dry ingredients that we mixed. And now we have our milk and our vanilla. This is vanilla bean paste and vanilla bean extract. So we're going to put these out to the side. We're going to take our vanilla and scrape all that yummy goodness into the milk. And we want all of that vanilla, all of it, all of it. I even take a little milk, put it back in there, take a little milk. You want all that vanilla, all of it, all of it, all of it, every little speckle, every little vanilla speck. Okay, great. Now, we really want to see it'll set. You can see, you can see it settles in the bottom. So we're going to mix it a little bit now, but it'll settle again. So before we pour it in, we're going to want to make sure that we, here, let me, so you can see. We want to mix all that vanilla into the milk, because you want it all to go into your batter. So when you're pouring your milk out, you want it to be mixed. You don't want it to be settled. So let's go back. Let me get these stickers out the way so that they don't get ruined. But thank you for listening to my Patreon pitch. Again, patreon.com/MeMeCherry Productions. You get stickers in the mail. Okay, so now I'm going to take my whiskey flat kind of spatula, and we are going to mix. It's going to be dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. Now, really quick, let's check our oven temperature, because once we're mixed, we want our oven to be ready. Perfect. It's at 325, which is exactly what we want. So now let's take some of our dry, and we take our mix, and we're scraping our sides and mixing. 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 You also don't want to overmix. So now we're going to mix our little milk again. Make sure none of that vanilla bean stays at the bottom. We want all of it, because you can't have a vanilla bean pound cake without vanilla. Okay, so now we're going to pour half of this in there. Beautiful, great, gorgeous, lovely. Everybody showed up to party today. We love it. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's getting along. We're all cooperating. Cute. So now we have a somewhat loose, but it's coming together, cakey batter. We're going to take the second batch of our dries, put it in there, right? And see, we did that in thirds, a little bit more. So we did that in thirds. So now again, scraping, mixing, scraping, mixing, scraping, mixing, scraping, mixing. Whoa! We had a bit of a powder spill, but that's okay. Scraping, mixing. Yeah, I got a little too excited there. I forget sometimes how strong I am. It's the 16-inch biceps. Okay, so now we're gonna take our milk and vanilla bean, and make sure again that all that vanilla bean that's settled gets all scraped from the bottom. We're gonna very quickly get it all in there, and see, no vanilla bean left behind. This is exactly what we want. We want all that delicious vanilla bean in our cake. I can see the speckles. You want to see the speckles. So we're scraping and mixing, scraping and mixing, scraping and mixing. We once again have a very wet batter. Now, this is the last of our dry. So, dry ingredients gone. Thank you, dry. Thank you, dry ingredients. Now the last of our mixing, so scrape and mix. Scrape and mix. And when you have your powder, you want to remember your strength so that the powder doesn't jump out of the bowl. Scrape and mix. Scrape and mix. Scrape and mix. And with cake batter, you want to be careful. You can over mix. So you want to keep an eye on it. Scrape and mix. I think we're looking really good. I like to scrape through to the bottom because sometimes you'll find flour pockets, but I'm not finding any right now. So I'm feeling really good. So now we have our 75th anniversary Nordic ware bundt pan. This is what the cake is going to look like. It's already been prepared ahead of time with baking Pam, best secret. Now we're going to pour our batter into our pan. So we get our little mini spatula out again. I cleaned it. And we're going to scrape our sides of what we know is going to be the top of the bowl where my handle is. And now it's going to be a little heavy, so you want to be steady with it. And you're going to pour your batter into your pan very carefully. Try to get it as even as possible while you're pouring. Now, scraping the sides of our bowl. We want to get all... Oh, actually, I just remembered. This batter actually makes more than what fits in here. So I end up putting them into tiny cake pans. I forgot that. I haven't made this in a few weeks. Okay, so that's the thing. The first time I made this cake, it ended up overflowing out of the pan, and I never adjusted the ratio of the batter. I just ended up making it so that the overflow goes into a pan of tiny cakelets. I forgot that, so we're gonna prep that really quick. But it's okay because this batter, thankfully, it's good if it sits out for a little while, especially in a pan with ridges. So we're gonna let that pan sit there, do its thing for a bit, and we're gonna very quickly pull out a cakelet pan and prep that. So, if I remember correctly, so I have two cakelet pans. I have one that's mini bundt cakes, but it's not enough, and then I have one that's like little baby flour cakes. This pan is the perfect size for this overflow. So we're gonna very quickly prep this pan. We have our baking pan at handy, thankfully. And so this is the Rosette's Nordic ware cakelet pan. It's floral cakelets, and it's 3 cups worth of batter from Nordic ware. I love Nordic ware pans. They do have to work. I like visually impactful bakes. But with a Nordic ware pan, not sponsored, the pan does have the work of making it look good. But you do have to prep your pan, because all these little crevices, you don't want your cake to get stuck. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so now, with a cookie scoop, we're gonna we're having a morning. It's okay. With a cookie scoop, we can divide our batter out a little easier. Trying to not make a total mess. Okay. So I have my cookie scoop, I have my prepped pan. Take a little scoop into the pan. Take a 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 scoop. See, ideally I would have done this first and then put the rest of it into the bigger pan. I had it backwards, I forgot. I need to make a note of this on the recipe actually. This I'm gonna do right now, that it's the big Nordic ware pan and the floral cakelets, because it's easier to measure these out evenly ahead of time, like first, when the batter's full, and then you just do a full scrape out into our anniversary pan. But that's okay. This is why practice makes better. Not perfect, because perfection is an illusion, but practice makes better. Okay, we have some beautiful little cakelets, and now I'm going to take the last of this batter and scrape it out into our big anniversary pan. Because every little bit counts, especially in this economy. We pay really good money for good eggs, and I use top quality ingredients. I use Kerrygold butter. I use free range eggs. I use organic milk. So we want to get every last gram of product out of our bowl and into our pan. Ta-da! Hello! So now we're going to tap our pan very lightly and just very lightly even out the top. Great. So now we have a beautiful vanilla bean bundt cake. And we're gonna take our little cakelets, tap them one time. And now these babies are ready to go. Now, okay, so the big cake bakes for close to an hour, and so the cakelets are half that time. The cakelets are done in about 20-30 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is set 2 timers, one for the big cake and one for the little cakes. And when 20 minutes go by, we can check on the cakelets. Actually, let me pop these in the oven. Let me stop talking and pop these in the oven. And let me not get too neurospicy distracted. So let's do that first. Let's get these in the oven. So we have our vanilla bean pound cake from in our anniversary bundt pan. And we have our little baby cakelets that are so cute when they come out. And so we're gonna put these in the oven. So our oven is at temperature, which is 325 Fahrenheit. We're gonna put our pan and our cakelets. And now let's set a timer for 20 minutes. 20 minutes here, and then another timer here for 50 minutes. 50 minutes. Great. So now it's time to clean up a little bit. I know, right? I love this apron. It's from, I need to wash it. It's from Quinoa Monster. Kinwa Monster. It's so cute, right? I got it, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a Kickstarter. Yes, it's such good, it's such so good. I mean, in like the details down to like the hardware, and it has so many little, like it has the little handles here. It has, this is a pocket, this is a pocket, this is a pocket, this is a pocket, this is a pocket. So it has 5 pockets, and it's all just very like well made details. I love this apron. Okay, so if you want to hang out with me while I clean up, feel free. I'm just gonna do a little bit of cleaning. Normally I would just turn off the live, but might as well hang out for a little bit longer. And then while at least I put things into the dishwasher. So while I do that, let me just tell you once again what this is for. So today I am baking for my first in-person pop-up event for the beta version of my Whisper Lounge project. And the idea is that we create a safe space for people to share secrets. And I figured make it an even exchange, and you give me a secret and I'll give you a little sweet treat or a sticker. And so that's what we're doing today, is preparing some sweet treats for our Whisper Lounge project. And if it's successful, keep an eye on it, because I'll be posting it on Patreon and then here on YouTube. So I'm really excited to expand the MeMeCherry multiverse into actually, I had this idea last year and it's been just ruminating and like circling and like, you know, pivoting and changing and growing. And then I suddenly had this idea that, you know, I was having a hard time people submitting anonymous secrets to me because, you know, I'm just little old me in my little part of the internet. But if I bring the Whisper Lounge out into the world and I invite you to come and share your secret with me while you're out in the world, I feel like that could be really cool. Thank you. And so if it's successful, one of my best friends puts on a lot of events, and so they're giving me the space to do a little pop-up booth, right? You don't know unless you try. And if it works, then I'm gonna try to find through the holidays any holiday markets that have like lower free entry fees. I'm gonna keep bringing the little setup. So what I did is I ordered, actually, maybe I'll do that later whenever my stuff gets here, because I ordered some stuff. I want to set up the booth in my apartment so that I can be comfortable with the setup. But what I did, I ordered like a nice dark colored backdrop. I ordered a pop-up frame. I ordered sandbags for the legs, because I know that sometimes when you put cloth on sticks, it becomes a sail. So I got sandbags to weigh it down. Then I got like an inflatable chair. And I'm gonna have like a fuzzy blanket on it. And then I have like one spotlight, one camera, a microphone, and then I'll have like little oh, thank you. I ordered like the little sandwich boards, like the chalk sandwich boards, and I'll write out like trade me. I need to come up with like a cute little snappy way of saying it, like trade me your whisper for trade me I'll trade you a treat for a secret, or like I gotta play with the verbiage, but I'm gonna put it on a sign, and then yeah, just post myself up and see. And there's brand integration here too, because I am also slowly preparing on all this baking stuff. Hopefully, ideally, will someday. I'm working on a micro bakery. I'm still working on getting my permits, so I haven't fully launched it yet in terms of people being able to order from me. But I'm also working on a micro bakery, and this is my little company that I'm working on, little batch company. So it also gives people a chance to try the treats that will hopefully someday be available for order. So yeah, it's all the MeMeCherry multiverse is growing. MeMeCherry Productions became an official business this year. And so I'm very excited. I'm excited about the podcast. The podcast will always be my baby. Oh, my grandmother used to own a bakery. Oh, I live with her luckily, and I get her amazing cooking and baking. You're very lucky, Doodle. Very, very lucky. Ooh, what's your favorite thing that your grandma makes you? And do you ever bake with your grandma? It's funny because I have memories of baking with my mom as a kid, but she for some reason doesn't really consider herself a baker. Like I guess she must have been doing it for me. and and because when people ask me like, oh, how did you get into baking, and I'm like, oh, well, I remember baking with my mom when I was little. But when I tell my mom that, she's like, well, I wasn't really a baker. And I'm like, but I remember baking with you, Mom. But I think it's because she thinks I'm better at baking than she is. And she's a way better cook than I am. So I guess. Like a no egg cake. Ooh, nice. Everything. But yes, I've learned a lot from her. Like a no egg cake. She did cosmetology too. So she does my hair. Oh, but she works in customer service for a big time. It sounds like, your grandma is a hustler, and I recognize and respect that hustler mentality. Go, Granny, go, because we out here. We gotta make it happen in this world. Okay, my little dishes are ready to. Good. I'm trying to get better. I had a bad habit for many years. You know what it is? Actually, now that I think about it, when I was little, dishes were my chore. And I think as an adult, when I moved out and I suddenly realized that I could just leave dishes in the sink, for many years, I just left dishes in the sink. And now I'm getting to a point that like when I visit other people's homes and they're so clean, and I'm like, man, I want people to feel that way when they come to my home. I want them to feel like, wow, it's so clean in here. That now I've been trying to be a lot better about keeping a clean and tidy home. What kind of baking do you do? I like to do all kinds of baking. I do some classic, just kind of like comfort baking. So for example, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, so I like to make quesitos or pastelitos, coquito. It's almost coquito season. Today I'm making a Sara Lee style vanilla pound cake. There's a pistachio bun recipe that I've been working on that's really, really good. What else? I also am pretty fitness conscious. I have, my shadows are not working in my favor today, but I've been focused a lot in the gym, and in the last 6 months, I gained 3 inches in my biceps. So I also try to bake high protein, healthy treats that don't taste healthy. So I've been working on those too. I made recently a high protein pistachio cheesecake bar. Actually, that's another thing I need to do. I promised to type out that recipe and share it in my community post. So I need to do that soon. I need to do that. I like to stick to my word. So keep a lookout on the community posts. Whenever I get a recipe like really dialed in and really good, I'll make sure to share it in the community tab. She's a boss later. She's going to a convention for women in her line of work to represent her company. And it's a massive company, but it's a man's job. And she was like the first woman in the job. I love that doodle. It actually low-key reminds me of my mom. So my mom, I call her a digital 49er. So I'm sure if any of you are American hand football fans, you might recognize the name 49ers, like the San Francisco 49ers. Hi, Shalonda. So the San Francisco 49ers were named for the 1949 gold rush. In 1949, out here in California, there was like a really big gold rush. And so, yes, my mom. I call her a digital 49er because she moved us to California, to the Bay Area, back in 1995. And she was a tech founder. And she also was a woman in a very male-led field. I mean, tech still is, most fields are. And so she was a tech founder. She started what was latinolink.com, which then became latino.com. And she got to speak at all kinds of conferences. And it's so cool. Like, I forget like the amazing life that my mom lived and how much she worked hard to provide me a life. And yeah, you know, she wasn't home waiting for me with cookies and sandwiches when I got home from school. I was actually a latchkey kid, but I'm very driven and I work very hard. I'm happy we got to have such a great woman to look up to. I'm Dominican, so I'm from, yes, come on, Caribbean people. Yes, come on. Big ups to all my Caribe people. Yes. Yes, strong, independent women are the ones to really lead the way. And I'm so grateful. And again, you know, she wasn't the milk and cookies mom, but she's the mom that taught me to have respect for my work ethic and for my independence. And so I'm very proud. I actually have a day job. I work from home, which lets me do things like this, sneak online when I'm on a break. I actually hear my computer pinging, so I need to log off now and go check into work. But yes, it's 8:18 California time, so I'm gonna let the cake bake. I'm gonna go check and see who's pinging me for work, and I'm gonna go actually get some work done. Hello, but I'll be back. I think I'm gonna try to come back later today to make a batch of the pistachio cheesecake bars because I have a friend coming to see me tomorrow to record a podcast with me and I want them to be able to try a few of my goodies. So I'm gonna make it. Thank you, Doodle. I'd love to see you again. You stay safe and hopefully we'll be hanging out very soon here on live. But yes, I'll be live again later today. I'll be live again tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing lots of prep for the pop-up on Thursday. And who knows, maybe on Thursday, maybe I'll even go live and you guys can like see the pop-up in action. Let me know if you'd like that. So muchos amores, besos, abrazos, amores. And like Bad Bunny said, love for everyone. What time are you gonna go live? It's 8:20 right now. I would say probably after 12 today. I'm always playing video games, but I'll try to catch it live. Nice. Well, and you can always catch it on the replay. But yes, thank you, Aaliyah. I hope to see you all soon. Abrazos, besos. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.